there is a sound that can stop your heart from aging. And you have been making it since birth without knowing its power. Not a drug, not a supplement, not a biohack that requires $1,000 equipment. A simple vibration that turns your skull into a pharmaceutical factory, producing a molecule that won the Nobel Prize, dilates your arteries, destroys viruses, and instructs your stem cells to regenerate. This molecule vanishes within seconds of being created. Too unstable to bottle, too potent to patent. Big Pharma cannot sell it to you, but you can make it yourself in quantities 15 to 20 times higher than normal, using nothing but the sound of your own voice. This is Bhramari Pranayama, the bee breath. For thousands of years, Indian mystics taught it as a path to spiritual liberation. Today, now we know they were hacking the autonomic nervous system. They were not just liberating the soul. They were liberating the endothelium. In the next few minutes, you will learn how one specific frequency of humming can flip your nervous system from fight or flight into cellular regeneration, how it floods your blood with nitric oxide, the spark of life, and why this ancient sound may be the most potent anti-aging technology ever discovered. Let me show you why you are rotting from the inside out. Aging is not the passage of time. It is the accumulation of damage caused by a single biological error. Your nervous system is locked in perpetual defense. Modern life keeps you in sympathetic overdrive. Cortisol and adrenaline flooding your system not because a tiger chases you, but because of traffic, notifications, blue light, deadlines. Now, this state is necessary for survival, but when it becomes chronic, it clamps down on your vasculature. Blood vessels constrict, blood pressure rises. The endothelium, the thin lining of your arteries, crushes under the pressure. When the endothelium dysfunctions, you get heart disease, cognitive decline, wrinkles. You literally dry up. This state of constant vigilance prevents cellular regeneration. You cannot heal when you are defending. This is where vagal tone becomes the difference between early mortality and longevity. The vagus nerve is the superhighway of the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode. Low vagal tone is statistically linked to cancer, heart failure, and premature death. The biological fear is simple. If you cannot switch off the alarm, you will burn down the house. The switch is nitric oxide, not nitrous oxide, laughing gas, but nitric oxide, NO. This ephemeral gas won the Nobel Prize in 1998. It is a vasodilator, signaling the smooth muscles around your arteries to relax, allowing blood, oxygen, and nutrients to flood your tissues. It is the primary weapon against cardiovascular disease. And here is where ancient wisdom crashes into modern physiology. In the early 2000s, researchers led by Lundberg performed a classic experiment. They measured nasal nitric oxide levels during quiet exhalation versus humming. The results were staggering. Not 10% increase, not 50%. Humming increased nasal nitric oxide levels by 15 to 20 times. Why? Your paranasal sinuses are reservoirs of nitric oxide. Quiet breathing barely disturbs them. But the physical vibration of humming, the resonance, acts like a fan, ventilating the sinuses and flushing this massive bolus of NO into your nasal cavity. When you inhale that gas into your lungs, it enters your bloodstream and systemically dilates your vasculature. A controlled trial looked at endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that makes NO. After regular practice of Bhramari, levels rose from roughly 1.02 to 3.49 nanograms per milliliter, a highly significant statistical jump. You are not just ventilating gas. You are upregulating the enzymatic machinery of your body. You are teaching your body to heal its own veins. This is endogenous anti-aging. But chemistry is only half the story. We must talk about physics. We must talk about frequency. The mystics describe the universe as sound, nada Brahma. The vagus nerve passes right by the vocal cords. When you hum, you are physically vibrating the vagus nerve, massaging your own nervous system from the inside. A 2023 study using Holter monitors confirmed this. They measured heart rate variability during Bhramari, looking at the ratio between low frequency, stress, and high frequency, relaxation. The study showed the LF/HF ratio dropping significantly from about 4.39 down to 3.25. This means a hard shift into parasympathetic dominance. The heart rate slowed, blood pressure dropped, the body entered a state of coherence. This is trauma release. This is nervous system regulation. When you hum, you create a feedback loop that tells your reptilian brain, we are safe, we can repair. This is the definition of reverse aging. Now the protocol. Knowing the science is useless if you do not apply the technology. You do not need a sound bath or expensive singing bowls. You are the instrument. This is the golden vibration. 3 steps. First, the seal. We turn attention inward. Traditional Bhramari uses Shanmukhi Mudra, closing the 6 gates of perception. Place your thumbs on the cartilage of your ears, the tragus, to block external sound. Place your index fingers lightly on your eyelids. This sensory deprivation forces the brain to focus entirely on internal vibration. Second, the pitch. This is critical. You are not singing, you are humming. Keep teeth slightly apart, lips closed. Inhale deeply through the nose. As you exhale, make a high-pitched, steady humming sound like a bee. You must feel physical vibration in the center of your brain and your sinuses. If you feel it in your throat, the pitch is too low. Raise it until your skull buzzes. Third, the duration. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes. The chemical shift happens quickly, but the nervous system reset requires sustained duration. Focus on extending the exhalation. The longer the hum, the more nitric oxide you pull, and the more you stimulate the vagus nerve. We look for longevity in the external world, scouring the earth for the fountain of youth. But the ancient code suggests the fountain is within. Every time you hum, you flood your blood with life and signal safety to your cells. You are not a victim of your genetics, and you are not a slave to time. You are a modulator of reality. Stop holding your breath. Start vibrating.